Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into the heart of modern air superiority by looking at two wildly different design philosophies, the American F-35 Lightning II and the Russian Su-57. We aren't just comparing two incredible pieces of machinery here, we're looking at completely contrasting visions for how future wars in the skies will actually be won. One is all about flawless stealth and network dominance, while the other bets everything on raw aerodynamic agility and heavy firepower. So, from a defense expert's perspective, which of these doctrines will truly dominate the modern battle space? Let's get right into it. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to start by unpacking their two different design philosophies, then look at stealth and engine tech, followed by sensor fusion and radars. After that, we'll break down their specific X-band and L-band capabilities, and finally wrap the whole thing up with strategic combat and doctrine. Okay, let's dive into this first section. Two different design philosophies. To really understand these jets, you have to know what they were built to do in the first place. The F-35 was designed to be the ultimate quarterback of the skies. Its entire philosophy is built on information dominance. It's a networked platform meant to find the enemy before it's ever seen, share that data, and destroy threats from way over the horizon. On the flip side, the Su-57 was born from a totally different priority: kinematic performance. Russian designers wanted a true hunter, an aircraft built to outfly and outshoot threats using sheer aerodynamic agility and heavy weapons. And that difference in priority is what really shaped the F-35's design. It's not just a standalone fighter, it's a vital node in a massive multinational network. Remember, this jet had to replace a huge variety of older legacy aircraft like the F-16, A-10, and Harrier. Because it was built for the US and its allies, it prioritizes incredible versatility and massive data sharing over pure speed. The whole point of this network-centric warfare doctrine is to guarantee air superiority by creating a level of shared battlefield awareness that we've literally never seen before. Moving right along to Section 2, Stealth and Engine Technologies. As Major Christopher Jeffers points out here, the absolute biggest difference between a fifth-generation aircraft and something like an older F-16 is stealth. This is the bedrock of the F-35's survival strategy. With its blended edges, internal weapons bays, and radar-absorbing materials, the F-35 can slip into airspace protected by today's most advanced air defense systems like an absolute ghost. But the Su-57, well, it chose a different path. Russian engineers actually prioritized supermaneuverability over all aspect stealth. Because of its twin-engine layout and specific aerodynamic design, the Su-57 has an estimated frontal radar cross-section of about 0.1 to 1.0 square meters. Now, that might sound like just a bunch of technical numbers, but to put it into perspective, advanced fire control radars can potentially track it at 6 to 10 times the range of an F-35. Actually, scratch that. It means in a head-to-head, the F-35 sees it coming from miles away. So, in modern combat, being invisible is kind of secondary for the Su-57. Being able to kinetically dodge and outmaneuver is what it really relies on. Of course, Russia is well aware of this stealth gap. Their major upgrade revealed at the 2025 Dubai Air Show, these new 2D flat exhaust nozzles, is a direct attempt to close it. This is a real game changer for reducing its rear radar signature. The flat design deflects radar waves, disperses the exhaust to drastically lower its infrared emissions, and physically shields the hot reflective turbine face. And the craziest part? It manages to do all this while perfectly retaining the 2D thrust vectoring that gives the Su-57 its famous agility. Let's shift gears to Section 3, Sensor Fusion and Radars. The true revolution of the F-35 isn't just its radar, it's how it processes information. The pilot doesn't have to stare at 5 different screens and guess what's going on. Instead, 6 distributed cameras give the jet a seamless 360-degree infrared view. The radar and electronic warfare systems pull in a mountain of data. Then the central processor works its magic, automatically correlating everything into a single, flawless tactical picture displayed right inside the pilot's helmet. Basically, the jet does the heavy lifting of thinking and analyzing, so the pilot doesn't have to. The Su-57 takes a completely different approach with its S-121 MIRAS system. Instead of the F-35's central fusion, the Su-57 uses multiple distinct radar arrays distributed all around the airframe. This distributed setup gives the aircraft massive situational awareness, specifically designed to integrate smoothly within Russia's domestic air defense networks to counter incoming enemy stealth fighters. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is how the hardware comes together. Section 4. X-band and L-band capabilities. The engineering behind the Su-57's Bialko radar complex is honestly, incredibly clever. The X-band radars in the nose and cheeks are your high-resolution main targeting arrays. But the real surprise? That would be the L-band arrays integrated right into the wings. L-band waves operate at a lower frequency, which makes them highly effective at detecting stealth jets that are specifically designed to hide from X-band radars. Now, an L-band radar can't guide a missile directly, but through sensor fusion, it can spot a stealth fighter on the horizon and basically whisper to the X-band radar exactly where to look and lock on. It's a brilliant, layered approach to hunting stealth targets. To manage all this data, the Bayalka complex packs some serious processing power. Get this, it can track up to 60 targets simultaneously and actively engage 16 of them at once via data links. It essentially turns the jet into a heavily armed, flying radar station. Bringing it all together, let's look at Section 5, Strategic Combat and Doctrine. We're looking at two fundamentally different survival and operational paradigms here. The F-35's doctrine is first see, first kill. It operates as an invisible node in a massive network, never meant to be detected. The Su-57's doctrine, however, assumes it probably will be detected, but relies on being the alpha predator in a kinematic hunt. It's built for fast, aggressive interception under the dense umbrella of Russian domestic air defenses to break up incoming enemy attacks. And this is exactly where the F-35 truly shines and where that multinational networked doctrine pays off. Its real lethality isn't just in the missiles it carries, but in acting as a massive force multiplier. An F-35 can instantly share its perfect radar picture with ships at sea, ground forces, or even older fourth-generation fighters. It literally makes every single Allied asset on the battlefield exponentially more deadly and coordinated. On the flip side, from a defense expert's perspective, we have to be objective about the Su-57's real-world combat effectiveness. Despite its incredible maneuverability, it faces some very real limitations. Plagued by high production costs and international sanctions, the Su-57M modernization is moving pretty slowly, and its avionics simply aren't as battle-tested as its Western counterparts. Because of low production numbers, right now it functions mostly as a limited regional defense asset rather than a global networked fleet. So what does this all mean? The F-35 sacrifices raw aerodynamic performance to be an invisible battlefield manager, while the Su-57 gives up all aspects stealth to be a highly maneuverable, heavily armed interceptor. In a modern, unforgiving, high-tech war, who holds the ultimate key to air superiority? Is it the kinematic agility and firepower to dodge and shoot, or the flawless information dominance to ensure that missile is never fired in the first place? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.